Sky Squad, we are back in the building, baby, and we are either going to be playing a game of chess or we're going to be playing a game of checkers. I want you to tell me who in the chatterization is playing chess and who is playing checkers in this duel between Erika Jayne and Garcelle Beauvais. Now, y'all know the other day we talked about how Erika Jayne had thrown Garcelle's book in the garbage can, okay? Basically saying, I know you don't follow me, but I bet you gonna see this, okay? She threw that thing up in that trash can with that old phone up in there. And then Garcelle slyly posted this. You know, just a little unbothered makeup moment. You know what I'm saying? We see Crystal Minkoff showing support, Christine Quinn showing support, Jenny Mai from The Real showing support. So Garcelle has quite a few of her celebrity friends on her side. Now, what started all of this, you guys might ask? Well, of course, it was this post right
I don't have to
here,
make you look bad. You can do that on your own.
basically of her telling Erika she doesn't have to make her look bad. Erika could do that all on her own. And the post says, you know how else you can look bad all on your own? By not pre-ordering your copy of Love Me As I Am before it comes out on Tuesday. So we had Garcelle doing that. Erika Jayne throwing the book in the garbage can. And now Erika Jayne is dragging the ever-loving Filth out of Garcelle on the Twitter, okay? Over because you know on the Twitter it's the wild, wild west, okay? It is the wild, wild mother freaking west. That's why I don't even get up on them Twitter streets like that, baby. But you know, when I gotta find out some tea, I'm definitely on there. Okay. So we gotta talk about everything that Erika had to say about Garcelle and the situation. So let's go ahead and get down into the nitty-gritty, okay? Because it's a lot. So grab some tea, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab if you're drinking this early too, grab a cocktail if you want to. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through the tweets that are related to Garcelle and the book and the situation at hand. Okay. So Erika Jayne last night hopped up on Twitter and said, hi, I'm feeling very sassy at the moment. Bring that BS Twitter. Okay. And somebody said, drag them, queen. She said, so many feel the need to jump in. Do it yourself if you're feeling bold. Okay. I'm just glad. See, this is why I'm glad I be sleeping in the midnight hours, because I don't know if I might have had to get up on that myself, but you know, you know what I'm gonna try to do? I'm gonna try to give Erika the benefit of the doubt this year until she proved me wrong. Maybe that's what I'm gonna try to, because you know, sometimes I can go into it just, you know, definitely team Garcelle, and I'm gonna try to be as neutral as possible on this one. But it's hard. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Not only because of the way Erika treats Garcelle, but the way she also treated Sutton, and what we saw her, you know, how we saw her talking to Crystal and talking about she don't care about them victims. She only care about her MF and self. Okay, but anyway, I digress. I digress. So somebody asked, what made you throw the book out? Erika Jayne said, her Instagram post, no need to use my name or very complicated legal and personal problems to sell her book. She has enough friends to help her. So by friends, I'm assuming that she is referring to this post right here, with all of Garcelle's, you know, famous friends, okay? Talking about it's here. I mean, you got Paris Hilton in this thing talking about it's here. You got Drew Barrymore, all these people, Jamie Foxx, Sherry Shepherd, all the stars had to come out to celebrate the book release yesterday. And honestly, all this hype that Erika is doing and all these people are doing is making me want to actually buy the book even more. Okay. So let's get back to it, okay? Erika Jayne says she has enough friends to help her. I guess that's what she was talking about. And so another person said, hi, as you didn't do any press last season, will you do press this season and appear on Watch What Happens Live this upcoming season? And she says, yes. So another person says, how do you feel about the real celebrities celebrating Garcelle's book? And Erika Jayne says, I went New York Times bestseller with no real celebrity celebration. So what are you asking again? Let me tell you something. Erika Jayne, I mean, as much as, I mean, she is reading the people, okay? She's reading the people. But again, is this chess that she's playing or is it checkers? And we're going to talk about it right at the end. And again, chime in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. So another person says, hi, is it true that Garcelle trashed the whole cast in her book to get people to buy her book, to get publicity on her book? I had heard a rumor about this floating around as well, but I haven't read the excerpt. So I have to really, dive into the book because, of course, all of this talk is making me want to buy the book, okay? I might try to go down to the Barnes and Noble today. Y'all know I like a book. This is a real estate book. I don't like this book, okay? But I like a book that I can hold in my hands. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had bought Portia's book. I had bought Dorinda's book. I ain't finished reading either one of them. Anyway, so in response to, is it true that Garcelle trashed the whole cast on her book to get publicity on her book? Erika Jayne says, just Lisa Rinna, Kyle Richards, and Amelia G. Hamlin, a teenager. That is Lisa Rinna's daughter. Now, as I recall, I don't know that Amelia is a teenager. Won't she dating Scott Disick? So if she was dating that grown man who old enough to be somebody's daddy, because he is, then I don't know if she would classify as a teenager, but okay, I get it. I get what I get what you're putting down, Erika, maybe. And then somebody else says Garcelle's gonna pay the rent this month after the free promo you gave her, sis. Hashtag charitable queen. Erika says she should cut me a check. Okay, she want a little residual income. Okay. And so somebody else says, what triggered you to throw Garcelle's book in the bin? She has been talking ish on the real and outside of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for a long time now, so she can't be mad when you retaliate. Okay, that could be fair. That could be fair right there. Erika says, don't use my name to promote your book. Use your famous friends. Now, what I will say about this is Garcelle used the trailer. The trailer, it's out there. We've seen it already. It was a viral moment. Everybody was posting it. Why wouldn't she capitalize on that moment? It is what it is. I get what Erika's saying, but I also get the game that Garcelle is playing as well. Okay? Because she's trying to promote that book, baby. So another person said, you posted 2 tweets immediately after this because you know you're wrong here. Garcelle is so much classier. Now, I don't know what those tweets were, but what I will say is this is Erika's response. She says, if you say so, but I actually have contact with her, so my experience is quite different than yours. And that could also be true as well. Erika could have a completely different experience with Garcelle, and I'm going to tell you what I think she feels like that experience is in 1 second, okay? Because we got a few more slides to go. So another person says, Erika, why are you acting this way? You have so much potential. Use it for good things. And then she says, go through what I'm going through. Then we will compare notes. Fair. You know what I will say about this whole situation? It's funny to me. And y'all can disagree with me in the comments if you like or whatever. But what I would say is that it's interesting to see Jen Shah going through something and Erika Jayne going through something similar. Now, it wasn't just recently until it was alleged that Erika was the front woman via the news. You guys can find that. I'll put the link for that in the description down below. We talked about that the last time we talked about this whole situation, or actually when we did our trailer review. However, and she may not be, because of course, is innocent until proven guilty. So we're going to go with that. But Jen Shah, who is also proclaiming her innocence, it's interesting to me the stance that the two women are taking. You know, as Jen Shah has gone through this, Jen Shah has actually come out, in my opinion. Hopefully she's innocent, but if she is not, then obviously she's gonna have to pay the Pied Piper or whatever. But in terms of PR wise, Jen Shah actually has come out of this situation or is still in this situation and looks at like the more favorable person. She seems a lot more likable as compared to Erika Jayne, who just seems to be on the warpath with any and everybody who even asks about the situation, which is so interesting to me. But I will say that the ladies on Beverly Hills did do a better job of asking Erika direct questions, which may have prompted her, warpath like response. Okay. So I'm trying to be a little fair here. Okay. Somebody else said, you didn't even write your book. She said, I had a co-author. Many people do, which is true, guys. People can have teams of people to help write their books. People can have co-authors. People can have ghostwriters. It all kind of depends on what your preference is. Honestly, if it doesn't take away any of your enjoyment with reading the book, then I say, who the heck cares? A lot of times, somebody else wrote the movie. I mean, but you don't, but you still love the actor in the movie, even though they interpreted the lines. They didn't write the lines. You get what I'm saying? So as long as you enjoy the book, it's still that person's story to tell. So I will say, I will give her that. I'm trying to be fair, y'all. I'm trying to be fair as much as possible. Okay. But it ain't going to always work because I ain't perfect. I'm human too. So anyway, somebody says, any reaction to people say who say you're jealous of Sutton and Garcelle? She says, I am not. We all have interesting, busy lives. So that was okay. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Somebody else says, how are sales of your fake hair going? She says, it's human hair and great quality. Yes, sales are good. So another person says, so Amelia is old enough to date Scott Disick, but when Garcelle speaks on her, she's a teenager. Make it make sense. I think that's what it says because I can't see it at the bottom. And when Erika Jayne responded and says, when you write a book, it's a choice what to write about. I kept it positive about me and my friends, family. No need to include others. And another person says, you know why Garcelle picked that clip? She could have picked a clip from the reel or a clip about the book. And Erika Jayne says, yes, I draw lots of attention. I mean, that's true too. And then someone says, Erika Jayne, do you think Garcelle goes in on you ladies because she doesn't view you guys as friends and more as coworkers? And does it bother you that she might only view you guys as coworkers? Because Nene said, these people are my coworkers. And Erika Jayne says she's easily produced. And to that, I would say that part could potentially be true as well. I mean, I'm sure, listen, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. For a lot of reality TV shows, producers will ask the women to bring something to the table. Hey, when you go into this scene, we want you to ask about this, that, or the third. And I am sure Erika has been equally as produced on this show, especially when she first started. So to me, I don't really get that whole I do get the whole easily produced because I do think there are production puppets, but I don't necessarily know that Garcelle is simply a production puppet as much as she is someone who is there to disrupt what is normally going to go on Beverly Hills, which is the ladies are going to sit around and tell each other how cute they look while they ignore the actual issues that are actually that they're actually facing, unless they have one common villain, aka Lisa Vanderpump. You know what I'm saying? Aka Sutton. So to me, I feel like Garcelle understands the assignment. So I want to ask you guys this. We started this conversation with the thought of, one of these two ladies is playing checkers and one of these two ladies is playing chess. Who do you think is playing checkers and who do you think is playing chess? Because ultimately, in the long run, what I want to do is I want to point something out to you guys. I just saw before I started watching, before I started to review this video. And one of the things that was stated was this, and I want to point it out to you guys because this is going to elaborate on my point. If you head on over to OMFG Reality TV, they posted about this too. And one of the things that Dr. Heavenly said, all she did was promote the book more. Let me go buy it. I mean, and basically that's what I mean by checkers and chess. Garcelle took a moment that was viral and used it to promote her book. In addition to having her famous friends help her promote that book, now Erika Jayne is going off on Twitter about the book. So it's honestly drawing more attention to the book. And now that she's teased the idea that there are mentions of her castmates in the book, which I did not know, I had only heard. Now that that's been confirmed, it's making me want to go buy the book even more. So I honestly would have to say, in this instance, it appears to me that Garcelle is playing chess and your girl Erika Jayne is playing checkers. But we could disagree in the comment section down below. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, and we will catch you guys in the next video.